Welcome to Traveling Adventures, your quest for love. If you're single or in a failing relationship, the rest of the world is out there waiting for you. Be sure to subscribe and share this video with everyone you know, and let us go ahead and begin, shall we? All right. Today's country is, by the way, Italy. We are digitally traveling over to Italy, or if you know Italian people where you live, we're going to get to know them to see if they might be a perfect fit for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin the show, shall we? All right, what do we have here? The good men and women always come first on this show. So we're going to go over the good men and women of Italy. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, starting with the women first. As always, Italian women offer a masterclass in sensual passion, where intimacy is a deliberate, artful, and expressive dialogue. Wow, already passionate. I like it. Slow building, focused on tactile pleasure, and designed to make you feel worshipped. Wow. Now that's a first for this series, because I'm a firm believer in worshiping your partner. Not just companionship. That's elementary. In fact, that's preschool. You want companionship? Go get yourself a pet. A relationship is meant to be taken to the moon and back. So worshipped. Absolutely. That is not an exaggeration. That is the ideal. That is perfection right there. You worship each other more than anything in this life. That's the only way your relationship is guaranteed to succeed forever. Ensuring the physical connection, I love it, is never rushed or transactional, but a core pillar of romantic life. Wow. What an opener for the Italian women. That is passion in a jar right there. Lightning in a bottle, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? So far in this entire series, this has been the most powerful descriptive of a woman. Could have applied to a man, but hey, for Italian women, so if you want that fiery passion, you know where to go and who to go meet. Italian women blend fury, dramatic, emotional expressiveness with a grounded, pragmatic strength. They love intensely. Yeah, I can tell. Argue passionately. Okay, better be careful with arguments. Gotta be careful with la ragazza. And solve problems with ruthless efficiency. Okay, that's good. Gotta be smart. Creating a relationship that is never boring. Oh, I love that. Never boring. And makes you feel truly alive and fiercely protected. Well, isn't that nice? Wow. Another home run for the Italian women. I'm loving it. What can I say? Italian women possess the ancient, strategic wisdom of la famiglia, making them unmatched negotiators of social dynamics and unwavering guardians of the home. Yeah, gotta protect that domestic life. I like it. They will architect your social life, defend your reputation, and build a fortress of tradition and warmth that is both a sanctuary and a power base. How about that for you men out there? Better get marching over to Italy. You better hop on that plane. What can I tell you? If you want the passion, that's where apparently you need to go. Or if there's Italian women in your neck of the woods, better get to meeting some of them. All right, switching gears to the Italian men. Let's go ahead and see how they are. Italian men approach seduction and intimacy as their native art form, combining confident pursuit with a focus on aesthetic pleasure and your satisfaction, making you feel like the singular object of desire in a world full of beauty, where the chase is just the beginning of a dedicated performance. All right, okay, so pretty artsy beginning. Italian men live with a vibrant, chaotic charm that finds joy in argument. What's with the arguing? I don't really like that in a relationship, but that's just me. You know, I like discussions, friendly debates, but you gotta kiss and smooch sometimes. You can't be taking things personally, okay? It looks like they do. Maybe they love arguing. Not my cup of tea, but maybe it's your espresso. Who knows? Passion in food and drama in everyday life. Well, that's positive drama. Pulling you into a world where emotion is always high and nothing is ever mundane. All right, so similar to the Italian women. I like it. They're both on the same page. Ensuring you are constantly engaged, debated with, and entertained. All right, so look, from what I get, Italians like to debate each other, they like to argue. I'm guessing in a good way. Yeah. Yeah, what can I say? If that's your cup of tea, if that's your espresso, right? Your doble espresso, who knows? Italian men are driven by a deep, culturally ingrained code of la bella figura, the duty to present success, style, and strength to the world, which they channel into being impeccable providers and charismatic hosts, making you proud to be showcased and secure in their relentless drive to build a beautiful life. Wow, okay, so not as passionate as the women, but this really is like a tango. And it looks like it takes two to tango because the woman is on fire and the man is more on the moon side. Kind of a reversal in the gender typical gender roles here. Kind of a reversal. This is going to be an interesting dynamic moving forward. This is pretty unique. But yeah, they do love their coffee and espresso, so maybe that's why they like to argue in a good way, I imagine. I mean, these are the positive traits. Wow. This is probably the most unique introduction to, a given people from a certain country on this show. This is pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and proceed forward, shall we? Because now I'm really interested to know how the bad men and women of Italy are. Bad Italian men and women. Because if they like to argue, I can't imagine all those arguments. I mean, it's rare to see the word argument or to argue being used in a good way. I mean, like a good debate. They did mention debating. So I imagine that things can go south mighty quick, especially with all those espressos. Let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Because there's a lot of energy there. But before we do, big disclaimer. If you're Italian or if you know any Italians, just keep in mind the following does not apply to all men and women of Italy. Not all Italians, okay? This is what they, quote unquote, say about Italians when it comes to the bad. All right, so let's go ahead and jump head first into the dark side. The real fire here. Beginning with the Italian women. Italian women can wield sex as a precise instrument of reward and punishment. Okay. We've seen this plenty of times on this show. Just a typical... This applies worldwide. Typical toxic woman here who's not really in love, so be very careful. Within a relationship, creating intense cycles of passion followed by calculated coldness. To control behavior. That's never good. Manipulative behavior. And dominate the emotional landscape, making your intimacy a negotiation, not a gift. All right, so we're very familiar with that. Moving on. Italian women often maintain a primal, unwavering loyalty to their birth family. Okay, another similar characteristic of a toxic woman here. Especially their fathers and brothers, which can override her commitment to you, leading to constant interference, your needs being sidelined for family demands, and a feeling that you are married to a closed tribunal. Wow, that's kind of different. Not just a woman. All right, so nobody wants a tribunal. Okay. Hey, hands off of our relationship. We got this. All right? We're mature man and woman here. So, yeah, stay out of it, toxic family, please. Italian women are raised in a culture of intense social scrutiny. Well, that explains number 2. Which can manifest as relentless criticism of your appearance, career, and social performance to force you to meet her family's and community's standards. Well, that's where number 2 comes from. Eroding your confidence with 1,000 cuts of Why aren't you better? Wow. All right. Well, that's not standards. That's just being unrealistic. You are what you are. You can make improvements, but by golly, stay out of the relationship. Toxic families, stay out. Good families that, they respect your wishes, they support you. Okay, you can come in, but don't try to change too much. I'll listen to your wisdom, right? Everybody should listen to their parents if they are good parents. I've always said this. All right, so shifting gears to the Italian men, the toxic Italian men, that is. Italian men are often raised in a culture of mamismo. Wow, talk about a role reversal. Usually it's machismo, toxic masculinity. Now, isn't this turning the tables, flipping things over? Mamismo, where their mother remains the central, idolized woman in their life. Okay, this is quite the mama's boy on steroids. Making you compete for authority and affection. Well, I would not want to be in that position. No, thank you. Pass. Hard pass. And forcing you into a role of a caretaker or a mistress. Never the sole partner in the shadow of a matriarch. Wow. It's amazing because in the United States, it's all about the patriarchy. Well, over in Italy, when on the toxic side, it's all about the matriarchy. So to speak. I mean, that's quite the contrast. That's pretty interesting. Very unique in this series. Italian men may treat infidelity, here we go, into the darkness, as a tragic comic inevitability, a peccato, otherwise known as a sin to be confessed, not a betrayal to be avoided. Wow, what? Talk about being cynical. Leading to a pattern of dramatic affairs. Wow, not just one, huh? Followed by grand empty apologies. Wow, this is brutal. Trapping you in a cycle of heartbreak and hollow reconciliation fueled by theatrical guilt. All right, well, this is quite the tango stepping all over each other's toes here. I mean, this is not now. This is not the tango, people. This is a dance gone wrong. This is more like twerking out of control, like you're having a seizure. I really don't. This is not the tango you want. No siree. Let's go ahead and read the last part here because infidelity, seriously? That's not a betrayal? In the eyes of a toxic Italian man? It's not a peccato, a sin? I mean, wow. Oh, my bad. It's because I'm an Italian man. You got to forgive me. I sin, but it's okay. And you know what? I got other affairs that might happen, but you should excuse me. No, I don't think so. How about no? Italian men can be paralyzed by fear of brutta figura, looking bad, causing them to make reckless financial decisions to appear wealthy, avoid hard conversations to keep peace, and prioritize public perception over private truth, building a life that is a stylish stage set with a crumbling foundation. All right, so it's just the illusion, right? We've seen this before in other cultures from, people from other countries. We've seen this, but I didn't know that it has a specific brutta figura, version from the Italians. That's kind of interesting. What can I say? All right, so, just as much fire on the good side. Well, you have just as much fire on the bad side. Sometimes you'll have a hybrid of the two, as I always say. So you have to tread carefully. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and move on to my final verdict for Italians in general, no matter if it's in Italy or anywhere else in the world. Well, it is the most beautiful description aside from Mexican women. That's pretty much on par with Italian women here. Lots of passion. I have to say that with the Italian women, that was very beautifully put. The Italian men, not so much. Not so much. I've seen better so far from other countries. But if you can find yourself, men out there, a great Italian woman who's on the good side and definitely not with the bad side, then you should be good to go. But for you women out there, Looks like an Italian man is pretty chill, pretty responsible, but definitely bigger warning for you ladies out there, because if you run into a toxic Italian man, forget it. I think your life's going to be a living hell. So, as always with these shows, sometimes it's better women than men or better men than women. You never know which way it'll swing. Or more favorable for good men and women or bad men and women. We have yet to see that case scenario, but there's about 4 different scenarios, I would say, for sure. And you never quite know. So my final verdict is, sure, give it a shot. You know, jump on that plane and study Italy before you go. See what kind of cities you would like to visit. I'm sure there's a lot to choose from, trust me. And just avoid the volcanoes and enjoy your stay. Because if you don't get out from where you are right now, and if you're in a failing relationship or you're single and you're tired of being single and alone, especially with holidays, the new year every year, you don't want to be alone, you know. So, but don't forget that you don't have to continue to fail where you are right now. This is the whole point of the show, is to introduce you to, there's a whole world out there waiting for you. So just pick a country and go to it. You don't have to stay that long, but it opens your mind traveling. That's why so many people travel, for many different reasons. But one of those reasons is to get to know other people, to get the heck out of there, you know, to vacate where you are now because it's just not working for you in the love department, to get to know the rest of the world. There's so many people eager to meet you, just as you should be eager to meet them. And you never know. Life sometimes gives you a gift when you least expect it, and not everything is bad luck. So before you say all men or women are bad, get out there to the rest of the world. I'm sure you'll change your mind, if you do a good job, that is. All right, so with that said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Also, be sure to sign up for your free membership on my website. Best of luck on your quest for love. Much love, everybody.